Hey everyone, this is Mr. Payton. This is episode 3 of my series on maturity. So far, we've covered acceptance, we've covered mental toughness, also known as focus, and now I want to get to self-control. When I consider how I've grown, self-control might have been the theme. To say the least, I was not a well-behaved student. I know now why I was doing it, and I think I knew then why I was doing it too. I was a pretty bright kid who got bored pretty quickly. My thing is I process quickly. So you give me a lesson, you give me a concept, I've got it immediately. And therein lies the problem. Teacher is still teaching, still trying to share the concept, and I am just all over the place. I'm messing with people. My work is already done. I'm drawing. I'm doing all kinds of things. So self-control was definitely one of the more important areas for me to develop in. But that was both a physical and a mental challenge. Physically, self-control was about like not responding to every physical challenge. And yes, I mean fighting. I mean like challenges. You know, when you grow up in a tougher area, we call it the hood around here. You can call it whatever you want. But a lot of what goes on in those areas is about confrontations, respect, and people challenging you physically. And in most cases, you feel like you have to respond. There's no choice in the matter. In many cases, I was just getting swung on and you just fight back. And I tell people all the time, I didn't win all my fights, but I was a willing fighter. I don't know if that's the smartest thing in the world, but that's how I was as a young person. As I got older, I learned how to either talk people down or get them to think about something else or whatever. And I knew that there was just way too much to lose at that point. But for me, self-control came with purpose. For me at that time, it was about sports. My grades were never a problem, so I didn't feel like I had to really focus on my grades. I was focused on trying to become a basketball player at the time. So self-control came in the form of practice, working out, stretching, skill work. And so it was easy for me to say no to certain things because if it didn't have anything to do with basketball, I wasn't going to do it. My joke in high school was, if you're not a basketball or book, I really don't want to have anything to do with you. And that's really how I thought at the time, because I said I didn't want to go through the process, whether I made it or not, and feel like, gosh, I could have been doing more. So that's how I was. That's how I did things. And when I go back and think about what we've discussed so far in terms of acceptance and mental toughness, self-control is the next logical thing to do. So where I'm working currently, I have a lot of young ladies where the self-control challenge is about somebody is gossiping about them or saying something about them, whether it's negative or positive, and they feel like they have to respond verbally. In many cases, they're responding online or they're responding in person. For my boys, the self-control is more of a physical thing. I mean, if you've ever been around boys from, say, age 4th grade to like 7th grade, literally all day long, all they do is touch people. They touch each other, they hit people, they punch people, they slap people, they put people in a headlock. They just bump into people. What's funny is when you get older as a man, grown men do the same thing. If you see two guys say hi to each other and they don't touch each other, then they probably ain't saying hi. I mean, we fist bump, we chest bump, some people headbutt, all this stuff. But what we learn as adults is there's a time and a place for that. You do that when you're at your buddy's house or at the sports bar or whatever. Unfortunately, 4th through 7th graders, sometimes 8th graders, they ain't got that all day long. I mean, in class, in line, in the hallway, in the bathroom, it doesn't matter, cafeteria, all day long they're hitting each other. And I get these complaints because in my role, I kind of am the person that mitigates those types of things on campus. So many times I go to the boys and say, you guys, look, you got to know when to do this. Go on the playground and do that. Wait until it's PE time to do that. But nope, they just physically can't stop touching people, wiggling around, all that kind of stuff. So it is kind of funny to see because I watch it and I know exactly what they're going through because I went through the same thing. Again, I just had sports to pour all my physical energy into. But I can definitely see why it's a detriment because literally sitting in class, they just can't pay attention to what's going on. So if you don't have any self-control, you're most certainly not going to reach your goals. And it's going to be hard for people to see you as a mature person. And once that happens, then it's easy for you to get labeled and for people to not give you the benefit of the doubt. So self-control, in my opinion, is probably the most effective way to command respect, if you stop and think about that for a second. Whether you're a young lady who is dealing with, drama and things like that, whether you're a young man who is feeling like, I just can't control my body, or if you're just an individual that just feels like your insides are just all over the place. I think it helps to have a purpose in mind. Therefore, you can put your energy into that thing, and it's just a natural way to gain self-control. So I'm sure the young folks out there might get a kick out of this one, and maybe will give me some comments about. I'm looking forward to see what those are. And for us older folk out there, curious to what your stories were of how you gained your own self-control, or if you're still working through it. Maybe still working through it in some way, shape, or form. So at any rate, I'd love to hear your comments. Hope you liked the video, and consider subscribing to my channel, because I'm trying to help people get to where they want to go. My name is Mr. Payton. Thank you for tuning in.